Mythical creatures that actually existed. The dire wolf. Dire wolves became lively popular when Game of Thrones hit the mainstream. These large wolves are a constant companion of the stars in the show and are shown to be large, intelligent, and protective. They are not just merely a figment of George R.R. Martin's imagination, they are in fact based on real animals. Dire wolves lived during the Pleistocene between 250,000 to roughly 10,000 years ago. Unfortunately, real dire wolves were not really the size of ponies. They were larger than modern wolves though, and could weigh as much as 200 pounds, almost twice the size of the current wolf. Their skulls are much larger compared to today's modern wolves, and ironically their brains were much smaller. Dire wolf fossils have been found in the La Brea tar pits, and scientists believe that they were trapped there when they started feeding on the carcasses of other animals trapped in the tar. The unicorn. The earliest account of unicorns was by a well-known Greek historian. He described them as large animals with a horn on its forehead. In India, it's quite possible that he saw a rhino from a distance and thought it was a horse with a horn on its head, but fossils unearthed in Siberia may have proven the existence of this mythical creature called the Siberian unicorn. It was 1.8 meters tall, over 4 meters long, and weighed more than 4 tons. It was covered in a shaggy coat and earned its nickname from the huge horn that grew out of its forehead. It doesn't exactly resemble the classic unicorn of folklore, but so far this is the closest that we can get to a real one. They were believed to have passed away 350,000 years ago, but the discovery of a fossil in Kazakhstan changed all that. Carbon dating tests revealed the fossil to be only 29,000 years old. The animal might have roamed the Earth 21,000 years ago. The Komodo Dragon. The Komodo Dragon was considered a mythical creature all the way up to 1910 when it was first discovered. Prior to that, rumors were spreading the 8-foot-long, 100-pound prehistoric lizards were living on a remote Indonesian island. Wanting to prove or disprove the existence of these creatures himself, Dutch colonial officer Lieutenant Stein van Hansbroek put together an expedition to Komodo Island. He was able to catch and finish a 6-foot specimen and sent the carcass to the Zoological Museum and Botanical Garden at Bogajava. Again, an American explorer W. Douglas Burden decided to put together an expedition himself, making up his mind to catch live specimens. In the end, the expedition was able to pile several deceased and live Komodo dragons onto their steamer and then returned to New York City, giving scientists plenty to study. The gorilla. Today it's hard to imagine a world in which people didn't believe gorillas existed. But it's not so hard to imagine your own skepticism if you were regaled with tales about giant, hairy, savage man-beasts with bad tempers living in the wilds of some faraway place. Their legend persevered until 1847, when physician and naturalist Thomas Savage managed to obtain gorilla bones, including a skull, in Liberia. Prior to the first discovery of the bones, the first recorded sighting of a gorilla was made by the explorer Hanno in the 5th century BC. Another explorer named Andrew Battle also told tales of human-like monsters visiting his campfire every morning, after the humans had left for the day. But he also noted that these monsters weren't intelligent enough to put more wood on the campfire, so his credibility quickly went up in flames. The subspecies called mountain gorillas unbelievably remained a mythological creature for more than half a century more, only being discovered in 1902 by German Captain Robert von Beringe. The Duckbilled Platypus. The duck-billed platypus is one of the strangest animals inhabiting our planet Earth today. Having the body of an otter, the tail of a beaver, and the bill of a duck, the duck-billed platypus was once thought to be an imaginary creature of mythological origins. However, today the species is well known as one of the only mammals that lay eggs rather than having live-birthed offspring. In fact, The duck-billed platypus belongs to a rare order of mammals known as monotremes. Although monotreme species were more prevalent in the past, today there are only 5 known extant species of monotremes. Aside from the duck-billed platypus, there are also 4 species of monotremes called echidnas, which are more commonly known as spiny anteaters. Whereas the spiny anteaters live solely on dry land, the duck-billed platypus is a semi-aquatic animal living alongside, and within, streams and riverbeds of the deciduous forests along the eastern Australian coastline. The Kraken. Originating in Nordic folklore, the Kraken was said to be a powerful sea monster strong enough to drag an entire ship to the depths by wrapping its gigantic tentacles around the vessel or by swimming in circles around it to create a whirlpool that would drag the ship down. Kraken was said to be able to devour an entire ship's crew in a single mouthful. The myths of the Kraken is likely to have arisen after sightings of a species of the giant squid, also known by its scientific name the Architeuthis dux, which can grow to around 59 feet long, or possibly the colossal squid known by its scientific name Mesonicoteuthis hamiltoni, which is significantly larger than the giant squid. It can grow to unknown lengths, and very few colossal squids have ever been found intact as they live in the deep waters of the Antarctic.